tried to kill Nintendo, but they failed as they were BTF. Oh. Sony tried to kill Nintendo, but they failed as Little Dimes were much of a threat. Xbox tried to kill Nintendo. They failed as they had no chip on sales.
Alright, are we live? I think we're good to go. Assuming that everything's shipshape and there's no real problems with the stream. You definitely got to get this figured out. Alright, are we live? I think we're good to go. Assuming... So yes, there's been a lot of happenings in the past couple of days. A lot of stuff to talk about. I'm Cody Lee, and I recently acquired One Punch Man on Blu-ray for a very good price. I am ecstatic about that, because I certainly wasn't going to watch it on Netflix. Definitely not. But now that I have the Blu-ray, really looking forward to that. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we're here to talk, as always, about Nintendo, or about censorship. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought those two things were synonymous. I completely forgot that, yeah, sometimes you can have one without the other. Like, Nintendo isn't going out there censoring every video game in existence, but, man, where do I even begin with this? I probably should have brought up the NeoGAF and Reset Era threads as well. But yeah, Persona 5R is confirmed to have script changes from the original, somewhat substantial ones, apparently, far more so than what Tokyo Mirage Sessions had. Atlus has revealed they will be altering a scene for the Western version of Persona 5 Royal, wherein the original Persona 5 featured two minor characters who were gay. In the original Persona 5, the two characters act as comic relief, aggressively flirting with Ryuji and the protagonist, much to their horror. They even threatened to forcibly strip the two male characters. Their persistence, over-the-top stereotype, and the male characters' reactions is played for laughs. Yuki's seen those scenes here via third-party upload of those scenes. A trope of Japanese media would use extremely effeminate acting men, sometimes even cross-dressing, just juxtaposed with them being muscular or bearded. Another stock character is a persistent homosexual who does not take no for an answer. Ooh, so a rapist. These tropes can be seen in Western media, utilizing an extreme depiction of a gay man for comic effect. Though less so in recent years. Terrible sentence structure right there. Niche gamer can't write for shit. Now, Atlus has confirmed in two separate interviews with IGN and GameSpot that the scenes will be changed in localization. Atlus communication manager Ari Advincula discussed the aforementioned scenes with IGN and how the dialogue will be changed to not depict those characters in a negative light. And then update it for the current generation. Wow, 3 whole years is a completely new generation. We went straight from the millennials to the Zoomers. We want the Zoomer audience. We don't want that homophobic, that hateful, that Gamergate supporting millennial audience. We want Gen Z. We want the Zoomers. It's just, oof. How these scenes would be updated in response to these complaints. I think it's really important to the community as well. Yeah, so important that it led to a bit of a backlash in the comment section of Persona videos everywhere, to a certain extent. But among a very niche crowd, people who don't really give a shit. I, myself, don't actually care about this controversy. This is interesting to me for a completely different reason. Namely, it really, really showcases how ridiculous the Tokyo Mirage Sessions debacle actually was. Because here we have two games on completely different sides of the popularity spectrum, right? Like, Tokyo Mirage Sessions was a niche game on Wii U that was, like, mocked and derided for being a Wii U game upon being revealed, while Persona 5 is literally the most successful game that Atlus has ever produced. And yet, both have suffered censorship controversies, and for some inexplicable reason, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, the coverage of the localization changes for this game were incredibly severe, completely disproportionate to what you would expect from a game like it. Let me see if I can bring up a censored gaming. Well, let's compare censored gaming views, because I think that will really drive this home. Japan Fire Emblem Heroes uses English Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Yeah, amazing! They don't even have, like, a video up yet about Persona 5, and yet they're still complaining about Tokyo Mirage Sessions, a game, that allegedly, see, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, like, what is with this crazy coverage for this specific game? And yet, nothing on Persona 5, even though I can assure you, that now that we have seen news that Persona 5 is censored, there are localization changes. Localization changes, I think, are the better way to put it. It really goes to show you just how two-faced these people actually are. When it's a Nintendo game, it is the worst thing ever. It is an abomination, like literally the worst thing that they could have done. Nintendo doesn't know their audience. They don't understand us. They completely botched this release. Nintendo is the worst. Nintendo is censorship happy. They hate gamers. They're full of SJWs. Like all this crazy ass bullshit, and yet Persona 5 doesn't get any of the same backlash, like at all. Like, let's see, Nintendo Direct speculation. I don't even think it made it on, let's see. Nope. Reset Era isn't even talking about this. It's not an issue. Outside of this very niche demographic of niche gamer and one angry cuck, I should say, one angry cuck's article about it, like, no one really gives a shit. And it really puts this whole thing into perspective. Something I've been saying for a really, really, really long time, in that the backlash towards Tokyo Mirage Sessions had nothing to do with the censorship, nothing to do with the premise, nothing to do with the game itself, not even the console it was on. All it was a coordinated attempt to try and take down Nintendo. Like, it was so paper thin. Like, it was so easy to see through. Like, Nintendo was responsible for these changes. Why did no one seriously suspect that Atlus could have been responsible? Like, I saw all sorts of justifications about this. Like, NOA, Treehouse is doing this. But Atlus is doing the localization. Treehouse is making Atlus censor it. It was this crazy conspiracy. Conspiracy after conspiracy after conspiracy after conspiracy that simply doesn't hold up. Simply doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and yet these crazy fucks were exaggerated it so much it was impossible to take seriously. Like, again, look at this: 93 upvotes for compared to these, like, this 17 Persona 5 Royal Phantom Thieves canceled. You probably should cancel it, by the way, because of another topic I'm going to bring up, but yeah, not because of the censorship, because of something completely unrelated. Again, I don't think this is really an issue. My opinion on gay characters in media is that they should be removed entirely because no one wants them there. They're going to annoy someone. The LGBT community doesn't like how they're portrayed. Straight people don't like seeing them. They're not funny. Like, there's all sorts of reasons to not have gay characters in media. But the best way to treat gay characters is to not have them in your thing to begin with. And I should say this right now. Fire Emblem Three Houses needs to get rid of its bisexual women. Like, it needs to stop. Like, why is every single character, well, not every single female, but most of them, a good chunk of them, not based Bernie, by the way, not based Ingrid, but a good number of them, like, hilariously ones that have severe mental debilitations and severe like personality disorders. But yeah, there are a lot of prominent female characters in Three Houses who are bisexual for no reason other than like to appeal to Yuri fanboys. And that needs to go. That absolutely needs to go. That is completely unacceptable. I hate it. It doesn't make any sense, especially for characters like Rhea and Dorothea. Like Dorothea in particular, like Dorothea's entire character gimmick is that she wants to marry a rich man so she can be taken care of. Like, what about that screams lesbian to you? And it comes off as like so fake whenever she goes off like trying to get with women. Like, it's hilarious seeing like the really fake artificial way in which like Edelgard and Dorothea are like, haha, yeah, we could get married. Doesn't happen even in their peer support, which I find to be hilarious. But it's just like, oh man, I don't. It needs to stop, okay? It really needs to stop. It doesn't detract from Fire Emblem at all because it's so easily ignored, but I really, really don't like people just nonstop spamming images of, like, Edelgard and female Byleth, like, getting them on, like, shit. I don't think I've seen a single image of Edelgard with male Byleth. It's just ridiculous. I just... Hate this. It's getting way out of control. But anyway, yes. So, look, the Persona 5 is, there's typical and it's funny. Fuck off. I think the community had a very strong response to that. I fucking hate this new terminology. It's not a community if you don't get a say in who or doesn't belong in it. That's called a prison. Yeah. This kind of goes into a point I've been wanting to bring up for a while. I do actually agree with this. I do actually agree that the vast majority of people in the gaming community, including game journalists, including developers, including like YouTubers, forum members, anyone in the community, right? Like, I do feel as if the vast majority of people in the gaming community are insane and shouldn't be taken seriously. Like, all of these people seem to have some kind of agenda, whether it be political, whether it be like monetary. They're trying to sell you something, trying to push you in a certain direction. Like, they're all trying to manipulate you in these really bizarre, artificial ways. Like, you're not allowed to be angry at certain things. Like, how much have I been mocked for shitting on the Wonderful 101 Kickstarter, for example? But you're supposed to like... You're not supposed to like other things that are completely innocuous, like localization changes, like costume changes, like certain games from certain video game franchises, certain developers. It's like, I don't like the politicization of entertainment. Like, I shouldn't be expected to like support or not support a developer based on their politics. Like, I don't care about that. All I want is a very good video game. Like, I don't care that the Hollow Knight devs are probably SJWs. Like, I still like the game. You know what I mean? Like, it's like... It doesn't matter, really. And yet I see all these people, like, forging alliances and sort of, like, creating this weird counterculture. Like, how many people tried to discourage you from liking Mortal Kombat 11, which was a legit improvement over Mortal Kombat 10 due to some, like... due to some serious... a serious belief in the community that, like, oh, it's 2SJW now, when it's really not. Like, seeing Liu Kang and Katana get married, like, in that arcade ending was, like, amazing. Like, other than, like, even that Jax ending that people spurred out about, that was nothing. Like, I am sick of these riots over nothing. It's just, yeah, I would be pro Atlus in this situation because they have the right to do whatever they want with their creative property. It might even be better. Who knows? Like, we all know that we need less gay in our lives, but man, just they completely botched it with their other announcement today. The more controversial one, I think. Oh, did I actually bring that up? Atlus says. Ask. Wait a minute. Wait, what? Are people actually calling them up? Okay. Keep fighting for Persona 5 on Switch, Atlus says. Nintendo Live. Alright, let's see if we can... Yeah, seriously. Tells fans to remain hopeful. Let us know if you want this game. Last week, Atlus said its recent survey asking about the games it should port to the Nintendo Switch had exceeded expectations. Wow, just like the last 5 or 6. This followed with the discovery of Catherine Full Body had been rated for the hybrid What is with these game journalists and not knowing how to write? This followed with the discovery Catherine Full Body had been rated... What is with this comma? And you guys say I'm a bad writer. Okay. Since then, there have been even more requests for Atlus to bring Persona 5 to the Switch. While there's been no official mention of such a thing at the moment, IGN recently reached out to Atlus communications manager Eri Advincula and asked if it was time to give up on hope. This was her reply. I am a strong believer in never, ever give up on hope. You know what you want what you want, and if you don't let us know, we're never going to be able to make it. So this has actually infuriated a bunch of people in the community and has actually led to a hashtag, break Persona free or something like that. It's very similar to my hashtag, console war or make the Switch, in which Persona fans once again are rallying to tell Atlus to let them know, to remind them that we exist and that we want Persona 5 on Switch. You would think they would know the Switch was a console, considering they put their main character in their biggest game in Super Smash Bros. But no, they're still dicking us around. Oh, you just asked for it. No! 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 We should not have to ask for every little thing. You should have already put the game on the Switch months ago. When was Joker announced? Like what? Like late 2018? It should have happened at that show. Like, yeah, Persona 5 is coming out on Switch next month. Persona 5R is coming out first on Switch next month, I should say. There was no reason to announce this bullshit updated re-release for PS4. Like, you should have just took that game and made it a Switch exclusive. Like, there is no justification for this. None at all. And fans are completely up in arms. I've seen lots of angry comments and, like, lots of angry posts. And this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. This is the kind of thing that third parties pull all the time, in that they refuse to acknowledge the superior Nintendo platform and instead sort of just pretend it doesn't exist and, like, give us scraps of what other consoles get or nothing at all. And this is just another example of that. Like, why are they asking, do you want games on Switch? Yes! Of course we want games on Switch. It's not rocket science. And it's so frustrating to me. Like we all know Persona 5 Switch is going to happen eventually. There's too much demand. They can't possibly be that stupid. But they're going to try. They're going to try and, like, pull these stunts and try to continue to pretend that, it's not going, just let us know. That is disrespectful to your consumers, to Nintendo fans, probably to Nintendo themselves, okay? You need to stop. You need to stop. You need to put everything you've ever produced on Switch. I'm not going to be satisfied with Persona 5. Like, I want Persona 4 Golden, I want 3, I want the first 2, I want, like, the spin-offs, I want SMT, I want, like, I don't know, like, Radiant Historia, maybe? Maybe? Like, you know, more games in general. What have you put out on Switch other than Tokyo Mirage Sessions? Like, I don't think they've put out anything. Not anything of value anyway. And like, again, this goes to my problem with Platinum Games as well. Like, you should be putting games on Nintendo hardware, even if they're not explicitly paying you. Like, what is with Platinum Games, like, trying to push the Wonderful 101 on multiple platforms? Like, it's not going to work. Like, it's never going to work. It's not going to magically sell more just because it's on multiple consoles, but they're going to try. They're wasting their time and money ripping people off, and it's just, holy shit, I am just, Atlus need, so essentially what, thankfully it seems that the Warriors game, Persona 5 Scramble, is available on Switch. I believe it got a demo first on Switch, so I guess this is the thing I'm going to ask fans to do. Is I myself am not going to do this because I'm not interested, but in this specific game. But if you're a hardcore Persona 5 fan who wants to see this series on Switch, I think this should be your goal. Your goal should be to help Persona 5 Scramble sell more. Persona 5 Scramble on Switch, I should specify. Persona 5 Scramble on Switch sell more than Persona 5R on PS4 and Persona 5 Scramble on Switch, on PS4 combined. Like, this one version of the game on one console should outsell the other versions and the mainline entry re-release. Like, that has to happen. It's very, very possible, considering how fired up the fans are and how popular the Switch is and how, like, PS4 is on the way out. But this should be your mission. Like, this is the order from your general. To the next step in the console war, get games. Every multi-platform release should perform better on Switch. That should be our goal. There is no reason to justify, there's no reason for these third-party developers to continue stringing us along and just refusing to support us in any meaningful capacity. We need to show them, well, it's not enough to simply buy Nintendo products. We need to stop buying games from other consoles in general. That's the only way these people will learn. They're going to have to be forced, kicking and screaming, off of PlayStation and Xbox. It's going to be a challenge, but I think we are in a position to do it. Let's see. Man, I've been letting the chat get out of control. I went on a bit of a rant there. Man, I'm so angry. Yep. Let's see. Oh, wow. Yellow Flash? Are you really? Are you really? Oh, I don't know who Yellow Flash is. I recognize the name. Like, I don't know why I even recognize it. Like, you're some comics guy? Why do you have a different channel? I am not doubting you. I'm just bringing that out. Okay. Nobody buy... Yeah. Totally support boycotting them. I'm an old school customer. I bought Revelations for GBC. Persona 2... Yeah, I'm not an Atlus fan. I own Persona 4, but I liked it, but I didn't play a lot of it. The only Atlus game I've ever really gotten into was Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which was a lot better, I think, than a lot of people were giving it credit for. I really, really like Tokyo Mirage Sessions, and I would like to get back into Persona 4, but honestly, it's such a long game, and I'm so busy. Like, I'm a novelist. I have, like, my day job. I have, like, the other games, like Persona 4, I imagine I would really, really like it if I actually put in the time to play it, and I just, let's see, all of them games, I'm not familiar with Persona 5, so I'm not completely familiar with what changing these characters will do for the plot. I'm saying it probably could work, because, like, again, if the localizers do their job and do a really great job of sort of like making the game better, like that should be acknowledged. Like if it's not like purely done out of like I don't know, out of malice, I should say. Like if they do a good job at localization, there's no real issue. I really do think fans should think more about whether this change is going to ruin the game or not. Because one of the problems I had with Tokyo Mirage Sessions was that the changes made for the English release didn't impact the game at all. In fact, I think they were done for good reason. So yes, it's very possible that this change has nothing to do with Reset Era at all, and that it's just a change they decided to make post-release. But I don't know. I'm very, very skeptical of that. I mean. Again, it's up to the fans to decide whether this is acceptable or not, and I am not. Again, let's see. Yep. Speaking of Yuri, why does the Fire Emblem Three Houses DLC have a K-pop looking femboy as the leader? I don't know. I need to play the Three Houses DLC. I still haven't really played it yet, so I don't really know. I don't really know anything about Three Houses. The Three Houses DLC. I don't know, man. I'm burnt out on Three Houses. I liked it a lot, but it's such a long game, and it has so much content. Like, I've been playing it nonstop since, like, July. Well, nonstop. I've been playing it a lot since July, right? Like, I've put, like, 50 hours into it. It's probably my third most played Switch game, behind, like, Disgaea 5 and Breath of the Wild. And I think it will surpass Disgaea 5, to be honest with you, because of the DLC, and because I still haven't done the Blue Lions route yet. It's unbelievable that I was rushing through the game in the Golden Deer route, and it still took me like 50 hours. Not 50 hours in the Golden Deer route. Like a long time to get through that route. Gamers as a class are mad. Yes. That is a very interesting terminology. Very, very interesting sort of mindset there. It's why I went off on that rant about game journalists not being part of the community and why people hate them so much. They hate gamers. They hate people who do this for fun. Like they despise the people who read their content. They're more interested in trying to make games political or like have some kind of higher meaning or promote their friends. It's a very, very interesting phenomenon. I think it's gotten worse since Gamergate, to be honest. I don't think it became more apparent. Like, I do think it's become worse, because, like, a lot of these people will, like, specifically refer to Gamergate as, like, the problem with the gaming community. It's ridiculous. Oh, yes, Gamergate never ended, by the way. This is my belief, is that, like, since people are so aware of the problems with game journalism and are still addressing and calling it out, like, Gamergate didn't go anywhere. Like, when you get right down to it, the fact that we're talking about this kind of stuff and talking about, like, game journalism and why they're shills and why nobody likes them, like, that goes to show you just how passionate how Gamergate has kept itself alive. Like, even though the hashtag itself isn't really being used anymore and is kind of mocked in certain circles, even by people who started it, the idea behind it, the mindset behind it, being sick and tired of game journalism, of the community, of this weird gatekeeping culture, like this weird sort of praising certain games while downplaying really good ones. I probably should. It's boring to look at this screen here, but I'm just. Oops. The gaming community is filled with frauds and shills. Yep. Gamers are mental, it seems. Yep, it's best not to identify as one of the... Only for America... Atlus bad. Atlus game's not good. Oops. Let me see. Persona 4 Golden. Yeah, lots of people I've heard have called Persona 4 Golden one of the best RPGs ever made. So I'm interested in playing it for that reason, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'll agree yet. I'm very particular about RPGs. Let's see. Oh, Raccoon and Corona. Oh, yeah, man. The coronavirus. Oh, boy. Like, one of my big regrets over the past 2 months, like, other than, like, not working on my next novel as much as I should, one of my big regrets right now is that I have not been able to keep up with the coronavirus. at all. I was so interested in what's going on. I was so invested in like the conspiracy theories and the mindset. I was so convinced I was gonna get sick and die. I was like so engaged with this happening, right? And I haven't been able to follow it. Like I have no idea what the media is saying. I have no idea what like the Medicare streams are like. I know they're insane. I know he's talking about all this crazy shit like bioweapons and like the decimation of Hong Kong and like the possibility that God himself is involved. Like it's completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. I'm just like, wow. It's so insane. You can't even keep up with it. Like, is the U.S. government involved? Like, I was hearing theories that, like, oh, Corona, they're covering things up. Like, I honestly don't know. I honestly have no idea. And it's so strange to me since, like, so many people have been, like, talking about, like, I don't even know where the whole bat soup thing came from. Like, I have no idea, man. I haven't been keeping up with any of the drama, any of the stories. I haven't done anything besides, like, I've caught a couple of Rakeda streams, but that's it. Like, other than that, I've been so out of it all year long. It's been a crazy year. Like, didn't Trump kill that guy, like, last month? And then we thought that was going to lead to World War III. And now we have, like, Corona-chan. It's ridiculous. Like, this decade has been completely insane. And here I am, sitting here, starting a YouTube channel, trying to sell my novels, and it's completely bizarre. Like, my life is amazing. My life is, like, so the best it's ever been, to be completely honest with you. And yet the world feels like it's going to shit. It's just unreal. Completely unreal. Let's see. Yes. Atlus, Sega Atlus. Sega has been underperforming. Yes. I wanted to talk about this. Let me see. Sega financial report. Can we look at a Sega financial report? Just so you know what I'm talking about. Sega financial report. It's funny how no one seems to talk about third-party financial reports. It's always like Nintendo's. Like, they're always trying to spin it to be terrible. Let's see. Game financial reports roundup. I want specific information because I don't want to like say anything that isn't actually true. Sega Sammy has posted a year-on-year decline. I don't even know what Sammy is. Like, I only care about like the video game aspect of it. Sega separate operating what? Let's see. Okay, Sega video games financial report. I don't care about the pachinko machines. So are they competing with Konami? I have no idea what this Japanese industry is like. Man, I haven't heard anyone make fun of a pachinko machine since 2015. It's unreal. Like, nobody talks about Konami anymore. Like, people will talk all the shit they want about like all these other companies like EA, Ubisoft, like Nintendo, but like, oh, don't you dare talk about Konami because oof. Well, not don't you dare talk about Konami. More like, we're just going to pretend Konami doesn't exist. The likes of Activision, Blizzard, Tencent, Rovio. Wait, one of these things is not like the others. Zynga. I'm shocked Zynga is even still a company. Nvidia, yeah. Activision Blizzard revenue for the third quarter of 2019 fell by 15%. Oh, wow. Yeah, showing it as far from struggling. Yeah, that's going to change following the coronavirus. Reporting on the 6 months ending September 30th, Capcom did well because of like all the remakes and Devil May Cry 5. EA, let's see, Nintendo, Rovio, the Angry Birds Company. I love how that's all they are. The Angry Birds Company saw group revenue climb 5.4%. Who cares? Okay, Sega Sammy, right today. Marking a 3.2 decline. Yeah, I heard Yakuza 7 bombed. I heard like lots of stuff bombed. Persona 5R didn't perform to expectations either. It doesn't say that here, but oof. Ugh. Damn, I cannot find specific information like that just off the cuff of my head. Because like nobody really cares when you get right down to it. Let's see. Did Strange Journey 3DS ever come out? I think it did. 'Cause there were a bunch of Atlus 3DS games. Like I never, I need to play SMT4. I do own it, but I never really played it, and I need to do that. Yep, yep. Oh, I see. Yellow. Okay. Tokyo Mirage, an American Idol game. Let's see. I think a lot of shills infiltrated during Gamergate. They only entered for political clout and are posing as hardcore gamers. Ooh, I don't think it was. I don't think it was a political clout. I think it was like YouTube clout. I think a bunch of people through all walks of life tried to like latch onto Gamergate and like use it to promote themselves. I think that's the core problem with like the Gamergate hashtag, in which all of these people like Monday Matt, Ethan Ralph, Shoe on Head, a lot of these people, right? Sargon of Akkad, like a lot of these people latched onto Gamergate and sort of used it as a tool to sort of push their own personal politics into it. Like they were essentially doing what SJWs do for their side, right? It's the same thing. Like the thing about Gamergate, the problem with Gamergate, I think, is that what didn't go deep enough. Like when you get right down to it, like all anybody seemed to care about was surface level game journalist shit with involving a woman and like the Five Guys, and like no one seriously stopped and asked like what was the culture like? What is the culture like in the industry to allow this kind of behavior to happen? Like no one seriously thought like maybe these big AAA corporations are fucking around with people too. Maybe they're giving money and presents, and they do, and yet nobody really stops and like maybe people are shilling when they say No Man's Sky is saved, or when they say like Destiny is good now, or Google Stadia is going to be the next big thing. Like no one seriously stops and says that like, wait a minute, who are these people? Why are we listening to them? Why do we care? It's kind of a joke to get right down to. Like nobody seriously stopped and thought like at all about how Gamergate might lead into higher and higher corruption, like on the highest levels. Like I talk on this channel about PlayStation and how they like screw over third-party developers and don't really allow them to develop for Nintendo hardware, but it goes in all sorts of directions, right? You have like begging for Kickstarter money, like the damage control, the NeoGAF shills, like the YouTubers, like the paid ads. It's the sponsorships, like the refusal to go against the grain. Like when has Angry Joe ever given a game lower than a 7 that came from like a big publisher? Like it just doesn't happen because he's worried that it's going to sour his relationships with these companies, right? Like the worst he can do, the worst anybody does, I think. Nobody puts these games, criticizes them on a higher level. It's like, oh, if it has microtransactions, it's a 7 out of 10. If it doesn't, it's a 9. Like it just, that seems to be the metric they're going with right now. It's like if it's a good if it's a good like licensed game, it's an 8. Like that seems to be the metric they operate on now, is that like they judge games based on how many microtransactions it has, instead of just not buying the games with microtransactions and just buying the ones that don't and then supporting those and talking about those and like talking about which one of those are the best. Like it's frustrating seeing people not covering great games like Astral Chain, like The Wonderful 101, like let's see, Yeast 8 to a certain extent. I'm just throwing out games out there, but it's unbelievable. Like the extent that these people will go to damage control their brand and like try to protect their monetary interests. Yep. Let's see. Let's see. Oh. All right. all right. I think that's everything about Atlus. Okay. Oh wait, whoa. Based headline: Persona 5 Switch port is something Atlus should just shut up and do. Holy crap! This is the most based gaming news headline I've ever seen in my life. Persona 5 is Atlus's best-selling game of all time. The Nintendo Switch is currently the top-selling console. Saying that it's up to the fans to make their voices heard is ridiculous. This is based. Holy shit! This guy just spelled out what I was saying early on. Persona 5 should really just come out to the Switch at this point. But apparently Atlus needs you to keep screaming at them about it first. Yep, this guy, yeah. Yep. Numerous pointless spin-offs. Wow. Yep, that's pretty based. All right. I think it's everything. I think that's everything covering Persona 5. So unless there's something else, unless anybody wants to talk on chat, I think we're good. I think honestly, I want to get back into playing Samus Returns. I would like to finish it tonight. Really want to play Samus Returns again. Finish Samus Returns again. So yeah, I think I'm ready to go. Great stream. I really enjoyed it. Unless something else happened. It seems like, I guess we could look at a Persona post and see how popular this. Let's see. Let's see. Wait, why is this thing on the top? It doesn't have a ton of likes or comments. Let's see. Let's see. Break free Persona. Like, what is the hashtag? Break. I guess we could leave off with just the hashtag. Gave Persona 4 Golden away from just being a PS Vita exclusive. Yeah, that's Atlus's mindset. Let's release a game on the PS Vita. These companies were like giving the Vita games hand over fist, and yet the same companies are refusing to support the Switch, which is a way more popular console. It's the bias is incredible. Yep, we are going to help make it happen. Make Persona 5 great again. All right, break Persona free. Oh wait, break free Persona. All right, I think that's everything. I think I'm ready to. Yep, I think I'm ready to sign off. I think that's everything I wanted to talk about today. I'll try and get back. I'm going to try and see the Sonic movie this weekend. No promises, because anything could come up, but I'm very interested in seeing what happens. And until then, I'm going to go play Samus Returns. I'm going to have a blast. I'm actually going to play and enjoy a video game. It's going to be wonderful. And until then, until next time,